Are you scrolling instead of studying for the LSAT again? Take a minute and do this practice question with me, and then I'll let you get back to scrolling. Hi, my name is Saylor. I scored a 178 on the LSAT, and I'm a tutor with Juris Prep. And here's how we approach these questions. Today's question says, a cup of raw milk after being heated in a microwave oven to 50 degrees Celsius contains half its initial concentration of a particular enzyme, lysozyme. If, however, the milk reaches that temperature through exposure to a conventional heat source of 50 degrees Celsius, it will contain nearly all of its initial concentration of the enzyme. Therefore, what destroys the enzyme is not heat, but microwaves, which generate heat. Before we go on to read the question, we want to make sure that we fully understand what the passage is saying. And we definitely want to be sure what part of the argument contains our premises and what part contains our conclusion. The first premise in this argument is that a cup of raw milk after being heated in a microwave to 50 degrees will contain half of its initial concentration of lysozyme. The second premise is that if the milk reaches that temperature through exposure to a conventional heat source of 50 degrees, it will contain nearly all of its initial concentration of the enzyme. The conclusion in this argument is that it's the microwaves that are destroying the enzymes, not heat. Now we want to think about the gaps in reasoning in this argument. What assumptions or flaws are they making when they're going from their premises to their conclusion? After we've done this, we can move on and read the question. This question says, which one of the following, if true, most seriously weakens the argument? Now it's time to make a prediction before we move on and read the answer choices. This should be pretty easy because we've already identified any gaps in the reasoning and identified any assumptions that the argument is making. To weaken the argument, we need to provide evidence that what they're assuming might not be true. Once we have a prediction in mind, we can move into the answer choices. The answer choices for this question are A. Heating raw milk in a microwave oven to a temperature of 100 degrees Celsius destroys nearly all of the lysosome initially present in that milk. B. Enzymes in raw milk that are destroyed through excessive heating can be replaced by adding enzymes that have been extracted from other sources. C. A liquid exposed to a conventional heat source of exactly 50 degrees Celsius will reach that temperature more slowly than it would if it were exposed to a conventional heat source hotter than 50 degrees Celsius. D. Milk that has not been heated in a microwave oven does not taste noticeably different from milk that has been briefly heated by exposure to a conventional heat source. And E. Heating any liquid by a microwave creates small zones within it that are much hotter than the overall temperature that the liquid will ultimately reach. We'll be revealing and explaining the correct answer later on this week. Comment what you think the answer is down below and click the link in our bio to book a free consult call with the Juris Prep tutor.